Sunday, December 27th, and it's time to welcome you to what will be our last show of this year. Welcome to the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. And now welcome for the final time this year, Ken and Glenn. And yeah, me, the guy named Scott.
Scott, you gotta be shitting me.
You gotta be shitting me. It's our last show of 2020.
It is.
Of the year.
Wow.
Our last show.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Hey.
Hey.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey.
All right.
It's the holidays. The holidays are upon us.
How was everybody's Christmas?
Go ahead,
Incredible. Incredible.
You gotta be shitting me. Really? It was incredible.
It was good outside of I told Scott, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Glenn and I did a show last night and I told the story that our 10-year-old outsmarted us. Abigail, she set up her phone and put it on record aimed at the living room.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's grounded till she's 18. So.
Right. And let me guess, Abigail walked in, held up her phone and said, "You gotta be shitting me."
You got to give them the backstory on why this is being said tonight.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because it sounds like we just jumped into the PG-13 content.
Oh, sorry.
Right away.
We were laughing. You know what? Our pre-show, you should have seen it. That's all I can tell you. The pre-show show was the show of all shows tonight.
It really was.
We were laughing at how many times you can say that, and it can consistently be annoying every time.
At everything.
We started talking about football games, because the Steelers came back and beat the Colts, and the Cowboys came back and beat the Eagles. And if you were watching earlier in the game, you would have thought there was no way in the world that was going to happen. But
so I mean, the bottom line to this whole thing is all of our teams won.
No, not all of our teams. Scott's team did not win. However, they are a mathematical likelihood to be a presence in the playoffs. They need to win and have a little bit of cooperation, but
a little bit of help.
Little bit. Dallas
and when you're doing something that works,
go away for goodness sake. Show your diversity. When you're running the ball so well, that's the time to show. Let's just pass every chance we get.
Wow. Did you kind of wish you had the coach's cell phone number at that moment?
No, I was looking for American Airlines number to ticket out of town, but that's.
Wow.
I have to tell you, I'm going public with this, but I enjoy. And have for most of my adult life a healthy dosage of sarcasm, and I use it to vent. I know it's shocking, but when someone does something like just straddles two lanes, I'll drive by and just look at them and just go, "Nice use of both lanes," with that kind of smile, or to a waiter who auctions food from down here. I've always been a fan of that. And I go, nice use of auctioning the food right over it. Just, you know what it is? It's nice.
Yeah.
If you can do it with a big enough smile.
The one I like is that real personal service. Okay, so who had the chicken?
Right.
I mean, it's your job to know who had the chicken. You know,
Right.
Unless you're Burger King, you should know.
Burger King gets it pretty. They're pretty accurate with that.
I mean, the personalization of service. If you're in a restaurant and you're sitting down to eat, it can't. How hard can it be to say?
I know.
Who had what order as opposed to the guys.
Right. Hey, listen, I don't want to ask too much, but at these prices, would it be possible?
Yes.
I'm just saying, would it be possible to obtain my chicken minus your saliva?
You know, at 7 after, we've already jumped into ooh.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that's what it is. And you just hold on it, minus your saliva.
We have Rainy Rose, Scott
Rainy Rose.
Ricard,
Doug.
Scott Ricard,
Rini and Magdalena, our eldest member
Doug Wing.
of our fan base, are watching from West Vancouver, British Columbia tonight.
Nice.
So we have the Philippines in the house as well.
The Philippines are in the house.
We have the Philippines in the
Nice.
house. We have Charles Coachman out in the great state of
Confusion?
California.
Don't you think there should be a state that is mapped off somewhere between Utah and Nevada? It separates the two, and it's called the state of confusion. Because you've got that, like, the most liberal state adjacent to the most conservative state. It seems that there should be a state between that is a little bit of both, but yet neither, called the state of confusion. I would be up for being the governor of the state of confusion. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know, and if you ever go to Key West on New Year's Eve, it's the state of nudity.
Really?
The what?
Key West, they do that?
New Year's Eve down there is pretty out there.
You know, they
Key
do what's
West?
called the Duval crawl.
Yeah.
Oh, you familiar with that?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. The Duval crawl.
What
Jack
is that?
tried to hijack that, you know, because that's Duval County. But
Yes.
Duval Street there.
So Duval Street, to bring Ken in on this, Duval Street is the big bar hopping street. And the idea is to go from one end of Duval to the other, hopping one bar to the next, having only a drink at each one, but you will not finish it walking. That's why they call it the Duval crawl.
Wow.
And Hemingway has been at every one of those bars, right? I don't think
Right.
there's a bar on Duval that they didn't say that Hemingway drank here.
I think Lisa, oh my gosh. Are you ready for this?
Glenn with two N's.
So let me tell you who Lisa is. Lisa is just someone that I will spend the rest of my entire life worshiping, because I have worshiped her since I was 16 years old, because we walked in to audition for the movie Drive-In together and were given the two leads in the film. That's my leading lady from Drive-In.
That is so awesome.
I have had a massive crush on Lisa, and she knows it. I think I was subtle at the time and said something like, I have a massive crush on you. I think it was something like that. Hi, Lisa.
That's so awesome.
Happy holidays.
I forgot.
She is my dear friend, and she still lives here in Northeast Texas.
Is she still an actress?
She is. I don't know what she's been busy doing, but you know, once you've got pizzazz, it's just in you for life, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But she's got spunk and pizzazz and is a beautiful woman. She was a beautiful young teenage woman, and now she's that all these years later. She said, no, just love.
Very cool.
Yeah, lots of love, Lisa. Thanks for watching. We do this every Sunday evening.
Yes. And this is our final episode of 2020.
Of 2020. We started this on Easter Sunday. For those of you who, and we haven't missed a week.
We have not.
Because the money is why we're here.
That's the only reason.
And it keeps us going, doesn't it? The paychecks.
Yes. Yep.
We're motivated.
Until next year. I'm not coming back.
Unless they double your existing salary.
I'm holding out for that.
Yeah.
Me too. So happy year-end show, guys. And you know, most of all, thank you to our audience who has supported us just with your presence and also your interactive participation.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. And we encourage it. You know, we're fine if you want to just sit quietly and observe and watch, but we really do enjoy your comments, your thoughts. It's very stimulating. It gives us tributaries, conversational tributaries to take. And we just thank you and we love you for it. Hey, John Sorsey, nice to see you here, brother.
There's Gabby, the resident fan.
And Gabby will hold that last name as long as we are on the air.
And as long as you are on the resident.
You got to be shitting me. That's awesome.
I think that if you left the resident, she would drop the name. I'm just going out on a limb here.
You know what? And honestly, I would feel supported and loved if she were to drop the name.
I would.
Let's not talk that into existence. Right? Because I really enjoy being on the show.
The former resident fan would work as well.
Yes, the former residents.
Oh, geez.
Hey, there's Jeff. Good evening, Jeff. What does Jeff have to say tonight?
What a fun, enlightening presentation this has become. Glad I was here for the first year.
Oh, wow. The first year. You know, in theory, that could wind up being that way. This could wind up being the first of many.
Yeah.
You never know.
Could be. Scott's like, I can't see past today. I'm sorry.
And then it'll be a feed of my team by yours. I'm a little on the quiet side tonight.
And 15 years from now, it'll be, hey, do you want to watch?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch another episode of Toothless Sunday with those guys? You want to?
Let's see how much they drool tonight.
Yeah. Wonder which rest home they're in tonight.
Over under on drool. They'll be wagering on it here in Vegas. Place your bets.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Gabby's right. Periscope is going away soon. Good thing we're on every other platform though. And we'll be on Twitter.
Hey, I just want to float this out there, but why does the word disappear look strikingly similar to diaper?
Because it is.
It just looks a lot like diaper, but yet not.
Yeah.
I've never
No, you're right. I've never thought of that, but you're right. In fact, I would bet that nobody has ever thought of that, but you're right. So, what are we talking about tonight?
A little bit of everything sounds like.
It's 14 after. Jeff said no shit. What he needed to say was, you got to be shitting me.
That became our mantra tonight.
Robert Brooker is with us. I was prepared to be here from the beginning. Last withdrew in Tokyo. A dream intervened, waking only now. Alrighty then.
Hey, Scott, I've been wanting to share this, but do you know that you and I have done this entire show with Ken while simultaneously expressing support of a certain amount of Pogonophilia?
Pogonophilia. Okay, you got to help me with that one. I am not certain. Is the only thing I could think of is that's when somebody grabs your butt when you're on one of those sticks that bounce. So I don't know.
Actually, that's a great take on it. But actually, Pogonophilia is actually the love of beards. The love of beards. You know, we always try to edutain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you a little texting that went back and forth. My son turned me on to the word pogonophilia.
Like that.
And there's also another word called pogonophobia. Forgive me, I just woke up from a nap right before the show. So, but pogonophobia and pogonophobia is extreme dislike or fear of beards. This is true. Pogonology, the study of beards.
Now, see, there's a productive life.
Wow. Yeah.
Mom, Dad, I'm going for that PhD.
Right. Got a government
And
grant.
a pogonophile,
Yeah.
you know what a pogonophile is? It's one who loves or studies beards, a beard enthusiast. You're a pogonophile.
Wow.
And then I sent him, I said, thanks so much for this. Those are a couple of extra words. And I said, I also would like to share with you a new made up word, which is bipogonophilia, which is the love of bearded men on pogo sticks. So it's a little bit like yours.
Yeah. I was going on a different route with that philia, but
Yes.
I think yours is
to grab one's buttocks while on a pogo stick.
Look what Carolyn put up. Pogonophilia, a condition that turns all beardsmen into irresistible and beautiful demigods.
Oh my goodness.
There's a virus we need.
Wow.
Carolyn.
Holy
Wow.
Holy.
A
There's
condition
Sandy Archer.
that I support.
So how about this? Pogoniasis. Pogoniasis? Anyone?
No.
Growth of a beard on a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Pogoniasis.
Yeah, I remember her from college.
And then a made-up word, pogoniasexual. That's a lover of bearded women. And then a bipogoniasexual is a lover of bearded women on pogo sticks. See, and now you know why I never did drugs or alcohol. That's why.
Wow.
Or maybe doing them now. I don't know.
I may start tonight.
Right. Wow.
So how are your Christmases, gentlemen?
Scott, go.
Well, mine was pretty uneventful, as I've told you guys. Tammy is back in Indiana with family and things going on back there. So I went over to favorite restaurant here in town, and we visit there so much it's almost like family. And having been in broadcasting for many years, I always feel for people to have to work on the holidays, because for much of my life I had to be on the air on Christmas and Thanksgiving. So it was a lot of fun to be over there with them. And Tam gets back tomorrow morning, so the rest of the night will be spent desperately cleaning the house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you
You're
doing
like, how in the world did my underwear end up over there?
Are you doing the Jeff?
If you hear about a house fire in suburban Las Vegas, it might be just easier to set the damn place on fire.
Do you remember the Jeff Foxworthy fluffing stuff?
Yeah.
And he says, nobody's home ever looks like it does when people visit.
It's true.
He said, you spend 10 minutes just fluffing and stuffing, and people walk in and go, we haven't seen this home this clean in 25 years.
Is that Jeff? That's Jeff Foxworthy?
Yeah. Well, welcome back to Tammy. I'm sure you'll be glad to be reunited.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gosh, it's been what, 2 or 3 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a month. Yeah.
Has it been a month?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really glad, and that's the thing. Typically I would have gone out there, but with all the restrictions and everything, it just didn't make a lot of sense to do that. Not only thinking of, my own health or anything like that, but also, her parents' ages, my mom's age, and all that, because, I couldn't go back and see her family, not see mine. And then now you're doing, you're traveling all the time, and it just, it just made a lot of sense to do it this way. So it worked out great. We are so fortunate to live in a time like this, though. because, they set up FaceTime just right over here. So I got to see the kids unwrap their Christmas presents, the grandkids, and it really felt like I was sitting there. So, it's for all the things that are difficult now, and they are difficult now for many people. Goodness only knows it's better this way than it would have been a few years ago.
Hey,
Vegas.
Yeah, Doug's going to be driving right past your exit, man, coming down to 15
man.
probably.
Yeah.
So, Scott, in honor of Tammy coming home tomorrow, I feel a song coming over me, if I may.
Do I have a choice?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Reunited and it feels so good. Reunited. Is it going to feel good?
You know what I love about being the producer of the show?
You can just take us.
I can mute you.
I thought where he was going to go was like, do a little dance.
Make a little love.
Get
down tonight. Get down tonight.
Thank you for heading on the more romantic direction.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a little shameless sleeve promotion.
Oh. Hold on, let me go full screen. Season what?
Wait a minute. Maybe if I turn around.
Turn around.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, The Resident.
To remind you, kids, we premiere on Fox Television January the 12th.
But what's the season? What's it say on your sleeve, man?
I think this one says season 3.
Oh,
and we're in season 4.
Yeah,
which renders this a garage sale item.
No, actually, it doesn't. It's a nice piece of memorabilia, and if for those who are watching, if you've not seen The Resident, here, let me. So I can't be interrupted. If you haven't seen The Resident, I highly recommend that you watch The Resident. It's on Hulu.
You keep talking, Ken. I'm going to build a fire because I want everyone to feel cozy tonight. I really am. I'm gonna go light a fire.
Okay. Should we remove you from the screen?
Yeah, remove it, and then when you come back, I'll have a fire ablazing.
Okay.
Good pitch there by Charles, who knew that it was Herb that did Reunited. It was the follow-up to Shake Your Groove thing.
Look what Doug says. Time for some Delilah love songs. Yeah, what did happen on the show? We all hate Delilah now, so she's acting like one of them Hollywood types.
And goodness only knows we got enough of those on this show already.
Oh, don't refer to Glenn as that. Oh my God! Last night I said that.
I
said that. I said that to him. He goes, "You want to end our friendship right now? Say it one more time." I was like, "Dude, relax, man. You're far from Hollywood type." Lisa says, "You killed that song, Glenn Morshower, and I've not seen The Resident, but we'll watch. It is a great show. It really is. And I'm not just saying that because Glenn is in it. He's not in it until the 5th episode, I think. 3rd, 5th. Somebody on here knows. Do you remember? Hey, Glenn.
I don't remember.
I think it's
it was about a third of the way through the first season, but I don't remember how many episodes.
I think it's episode 5 is when he comes on the scene. But it's such a great show.
Huh.
Oh, 3rd. Carrie says 3rd. And Charles says 5th.
I'm going to go with the 4th.
Yeah, it's man, I can't remember. Yeah, I think he might. Carrie, I think Carrie's right. How much is the yard sale shirt? Like, this is what I love about the show, man. Our audience just comes out of left field and says, "Hey, what about this?" That's a great question. We'll see. Maybe we can get Glenn to properly wash it, and then.
By the way, I know she is. I doubt that she is watching. It is what? Oh, it's 12:26 in Australia right now on Monday afternoon. But our friend Leanne, that's here every week, got married.
I know.
Saw on Facebook, and
I know.
Congratulations to her. She may watch on replay, but goodness,
yeah,
she's had to delay that so many times because of COVID and all the challenges,
and
everything else.
She's had so many challenges with that.
She's such a wonderful person. Speaking of wonderful people, look, here's Weldon on with us.
Weldon Whitehurst. How are you doing, brother? He is at home now, back in his own bed. He's out of the hospital, and now I believe he's awaiting he's on the list. So good. How you doing, Weldon? Good to see you, brother. Who else? Start bidding. Joan says start bidding. And that's the thing about now. If Glenn were the typical Hollywood type, he would be like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Glenn would never do. He just wouldn't. He wouldn't do it. I don't think he would.
Look, I love Robert's comment, but Charles's comment is great too. Yes, Robert, they did. They looked like two teenagers in love in the and then Charles is like, hey, you've been married 36 hours. Where are you?
Really? No kidding. Seriously, no kidding.
That is so great.
Lisa said, I know this is a very clean show, but the shirt might be worth more if he doesn't wash it.
You know, as has been mentioned earlier, I've been here alone for a month, and I promise you that I have more shirts in a big hamper upstairs.
Waiting on your wife to get home.
That haven't been washed, that I would be happy to.
Oh, my God. He's going to be like, you did not really save the laundry for me.
Oh, I did. No, as a matter of fact, I did 2 loads today so that she would come home and every bit of laundry has been done.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So trying to.
Glenn. Oh, Glenn is muted. He's muted. Well, let's remove him until he works his stuff out. Chris Sarancino, how in the world are you, dude? Great to see you. Great to see you, man. So, okay, well, I think we have the inimitable Glenn Morsha. You're muted, bro. You're muted. You are muted. You're muted.
Got a little fire happening back there.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yes. Can you hear us?
I cannot hear you, though.
Well, son of a bitch.
Just the way he wanted it from the beginning.
Oh, you guys are totally messing with me.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
No. He
Now,
really does
he's
think we're
doing
messing
that
with
on
us.
purpose.
Or is he messing with us? Now he's messing with us.
Yeah, he's playing. Hey, Shelly Uphouse, how in the world are you? Glenn, can you hear us? Glenn. Is he playing, dude?
I can't tell.
He's a professional, you know.
I know.
Well, I just became one. Now we're back.
See, as soon as you talk crap about him, now it works, right?
Right.
Timing is everything.
Right.
Just ask me, what's the most important thing in comedy?
Timing,
yeah.
You're supposed to ask me.
Chris, thank you. Happy New Year and prosperous 2021 to you as well, man.
You've heard
and
that,
healthy.
right, Glenn?
what's that?
You've heard that joke.
Oh, of course.
That's old.
And the earlier you interrupt, the funnier it is.
Have you heard that joke, Ken?
Probably. Which one are you referring to?
Ask me what the most important thing is in comedy.
What's the most important
Timing.
thing?
It never gets old.
Oh my God.
It just never gets old. It's
Glenn is
sort
a
of
funny
like
character.
knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Ooh.
My 10-year-old daughter does that one often.
I've never heard that one.
I hear
Oh, you haven't?
No, I'm serious as a heart attack. I've never heard that.
See, look at that.
Interrupting
Mr. Fireplace, by the way, Jerry Eisenhower, Mr.
Yeah.
Guru of the fireplace industry, is saying, "Oh, well." So
Yeah.
we all may need to reposition near our fireplaces.
This may be my favorite one, my favorite knock-knock joke of all time.
Uh-oh.
All right, you ready? Scott, you ready?
Okay.
First,
Go
let
ahead.
me say hi to
Go
Shelly.
ahead. You start.
Hey, Shelly. Good to see you. It's been a long time.
You start, Scott. Go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Oh, my God. All right. Hey, I'm sorry for those two.
Oh, that's too good.
Hold it.
Oh, look, Jeff says that cow joke is utterly funny.
Hey, guys,
nice.
how about we start doing the show like this?
You know what I think it does? I think
we'll
it addresses. I think it addresses some security issues. So, is anyone giving in to the urge to? I think my New Year's resolution is to not have any resolutions, but to just continue staying the course.
Still having one.
Yeah, that's true. Not having any is having. That's my resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, how many of you are excited? How about this? Since it is our last show of 2020, and this is the year we started.
Keep talking. I'm
looking at Daryl's recap of the Dallas Cowboys going potentially 7-9, which would be bizarre for
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
for them to host a game.
Look at this.
Yay!
Leanne Osrickson.
Just a couple minutes ago, Leanne, if you weren't here when we were saying that was an excused absence since you just got married. But
yeah, congratulations, Leanne.
Congratulations, Leanne. Congratulations,
Mrs. Davy.
Mrs. Davy.
That's
nice. That's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Congrats, sweetheart. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Charles Coachman is roasting some chestnuts on an open fire.
Who's Chet?
Hello, Joan Anton. Nice to see you, darling.
Ken. Thank you.
Oh my God. Who's Chet? Chet.
Who's Chet? Boy, the G rating just went right out the window. So listen, we did meet in 2020, and the next time we gather will be in 2021. So I do have a question, which is,
don't digress.
What was wonderful? What was wonderful about the year? Because I have a laundry list of things that were wonderful, and I never once felt the urge to jump on board the 2020 sucks train. And I understand it included hardships, but hardships also reveal who it is we are. And they teach us things about ourselves. They invite us to discover our own resourcefulness. And I just think for starters, at the top of my list, I am grateful for the two of you, because you were not in my life. There's a strong case to be made for you would not have been had COVID not hit, because we wouldn't have started up this show, which was a feel-good outing. And we were doing it several nights a week before we agreed upon an official night and made it the three of us. And I'm beyond grateful for that. And if that's what it took, then that's what it took, you know. But it's to me, 2020 has been a memorable year and not a bad year, just a different year, you know.
I wonder if people that did sit around a dinner table with family and distant family at Thanksgiving or Christmas, I wonder how much of the conversation revolved around our show at these holiday dinners. I'm just kind of, has that thought?
Is that what brings meaning to the holiday for you? Is knowing that we were the subject of conversation? I'm guessing maybe very few.
I'm going to go out.
Peace, financial success, and more Ken, Glenn, and Scott. I
Right.
think we're probably, and maybe not in that order.
I'm even wondering if it went something like this, Scott. Hey guys, I've got an idea. It's Thanksgiving. You want to talk about Ken, Glenn, and Scott? No. And then they got on with whatever they were doing.
That is too funny. Holy moly. Wow. Wow. Enough about me. What do you think about me? Right, Jeff. Right. Oh.
By the way, can you imagine if somebody who, have never seen us before, just their very first moment was that?
Well, did you see what
Who are these arrogant guys? What is the
look at Leanne's comment. She goes, I don't know if it's strange, but we mentioned the show during our ceremony.
For better, for worse, for every Sunday evening. Well, Monday noon there.
Monday noon there. Or morning. Is it morning or noon?
Hey, Leanne, did you guys write your own vows? Or was it scripted for you? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, you want to read that one?
Lay that one on us, Scott.
Hi, Janie. Great creativity. Many people stepped up in person to help in the community beyond their normal cash donations. Neighbors helped out others. Zoom, yes, expanded connections. Many wild comic stories about political actions. Many were true with helpful, enlightening perspectives. That is certainly true, Janie. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? The way, so much of the attention media and, oh no, we didn't. so much of the media, social media and mainstream media, really did focus on the negative. But, I've told you before, I worked at a television station where they literally said, if it bleeds, it leads. What's the worst thing that possibly happened in our community? And that's the number one story. And I think that if you bought into all of that, then yeah, you probably let 2020, let the tail wag the dog. But when you looked at the things like she just mentioned, look at this. Without COVID, Joan couldn't have been in your classes, Glenn.
Without COVID and Ken.
Yeah, that's true. Joan, can you completely rewrite this and mention Ken? Because if you don't, he's gonna get his feelings hurt. Little Kenny gonna get his feelings hurt if he's not mentioned. You gotta mention Ken.
I'm just kidding. Come on. So, what's that?
It's crying towel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Wow, look, it turned green. So that is, but that is so like Glenn and I know you've publicly announced that you're expanding your acting school next year, and you've moved everything from a physical location to Zoom, and you're creating phenomenal. We'll even show a couple of clips.
We're killing it.
If you want, we can show maybe a couple of scenes that are PG-ish. But and you did something because I showed you how to use Zoom. Whatever, anybody could have
keep
done
talking.
that.
I'm going to send one to you that I got today from this past week that is phenomenal.
Okay, cool. Send it. So, but he's taking taking it to a completely different level where they're shooting these scenes and they're doing eye lines where they're lining up everything perfectly. And it's just absolutely amazing what they're doing. And that could not exist. It would not exist if it were not for COVID hitting. It wouldn't exist because he would have never thought of it. Like, hey, maybe we should move this to online. I don't, right? Would you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I would never have decided to go teach online. I wouldn't. It was, necessity is the mother of invention. Classic scenario
Yep.
where what are you going to do? So here are your options. You go online or you shut down your business.
Right.
Those are your options.
Yep.
And a lot of times when our options are just all watered down to two, it makes it really easy to choose which of two. I understand Baskin-Robbins confusion because you're in a state of overwhelm. But if someone goes, what's it going to be? Cherry Garcia or chocolate crunch? It's easy to choose. Yeah. So we didn't want the school to be dissolved. And so we reluctantly reconfigured everything and then discovered that we like it even more. And we have no geographic restrictions. So you got to love it because now we reach people all over the world, which is great.
I mean, and you have people in Australia and haven't you had people in from England?
We have not had any from the UK yet, but we do have a resident Aussie who visits us from Melbourne every week.
Yep. It's amazing.
To pick up on that a bit, one of my coaching clients, a woman named Sheena Eignar, and she wrote an incredible book. She's a professor at Columbia University, wrote an incredible book called The Art of Choosing. And she is maybe the world's leading scientist on choice. And she coined a term called decision fatigue. And she is the one who did the original research. I don't know if you ever read about the store that sold like 300 types of jams. And people come in and take a picture of this wall of jams, all the variety of jams. There's only one problem.
They wouldn't buy them.
Yeah, everybody was taking pictures of it, but nobody was buying jams.
Yeah, that's not a good situation.
And so she did an experiment with a store where they went from 300 to 3, and
boom,
sales skyrocketed because there was 3 unique jams that you couldn't get at a supermarket anyplace else, but there were 3. Well, people would choose one of the 3, or in a lot of cases, all 3, but. And for example, she worked with Audi, which I thought was interesting. If you've ever ordered a car, there's so many choices, what color of the car, then what color of interior. Oh, do you want leather or cloth or leatherette or, there gets to be so many options that they discovered that a surprisingly high number of people just gave up and didn't buy a car from that dealership because the choice was so overwhelming. So I think as we talk about where we're going in the new year, I think that's one of the challenges we often don't consider is that when there is a world of opportunities presented to us, sometimes it's hard to pick what we're going to do. We try to keep our finger in so many pies, or dabble in so many things that we ended up accomplishing nothing because we tried to do so many things all at once.
Have you ever dined at Jerry's Delicatessen?
No.
It's same deal.
It
would be a nightmare to be a waiter there because it's like or Cheesecake Factory, same idea. It's something like a 10-page menu, and it's 300 some odd items. It's crazy.
Too much.
Ken, I sent it to you, brother. I emailed you.
Oh, you emailed me?
Yeah, and this is just an incredible outing with. A few of our students, Tony and Piper and Lisa. Yeah, I sent you via email.
I'll download it and I'll be able to play it here in a minute.
What did Karen Toddy say here? Jerry says success in life requires a lifetime of ongoing reinvention, I believe was his last word.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So true.
It's downloading. Laura said, and I think that I was thinking about this actually this morning that, and Scott, I know, well, both of you both do coaching and, one of the things that I think, especially with entrepreneurs that runs rampant in the entrepreneurial community is that squirrel syndrome. Staying focused on the one thing and or deciding what that one thing is going to be, and then putting maybe not all, but most of your attention on that one thing until it's at a point where you can go, okay, now I want to diversify a little bit and add something else to the mix, or this to the mix, or that to the mix. I think entrepreneurs have experienced that a lot, where they go, you know what, I'm really good at selling homes. And yes, Laura says it's shiny object syndrome, where it's like, I'm good at this one thing and I'm really killing it. And maybe you're not at the tipping point yet or beyond that, but and all of a sudden a network marketing opportunity pops up, and I've had that happen where I'm like, holy crap, that's the best oil potion and lotion I've ever seen. I'm going to do that. So what about when one supports the other? Well, yeah, if it supports it, but it's got to be, you can't give up on the main thing if that's where your main income comes from, and head off in another direction, unless you have the team that would support that.
There's a line I've got for that, Laura, and it's called intentional congruency. It is saying, if I do this, how does that connect to this? So in other words, the main part of my living was giving speeches. I think I'll be an author too. No, it's that writing books support the speaking, and the speaking support the books. And so even though it is a diversification of my time and my interest, there is an intentional congruency between how those work together. And so if you can't answer the question, how does one help the other so they can both grow, then, Ken, that's a great point you make, because a lot of people, work here. Oh, here comes a network marketing opportunity. It's over here. Well, there's no synergy. There's no connection between the two. And then they wonder why they're not successful at either one.
Well, I don't think there's an entrepreneur worth their salt that would say, oh, I've never done that. I mean, we've all been there where it's like, but I had this it was a network marketing business doing cards, greeting cards and all these things. And this was years ago. And I mean, my main business of website development and all of that stuff started suffering very, very badly. And my attorney, who's one of my best friends, calls me. He's like, hey, let's go to dinner tonight. And I'm like, yeah, I can't, it's little, I don't have the extra cash right now for dinner. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, all right, then you're definitely meeting me, and we're going to, and I'll buy, but I want to talk to you. So we sit down. He goes, look, dude, what's going on with your business? And I'm like, man, it's really kind of, sales are down and this and that. And I start making all these excuses. And he goes, what about that card thing you're doing? I said, oh, that's the coolest thing in the world, and blah, blah, blah. And it's so cool. And it's so cool. And he's like, are you making any money? And I'm like, not yet, but I will. And he's like, dude, you can't have a mistress. You can't have a mistress. And I'm like, I didn't say I'm cheating on Jill. What the heck's wrong with you, dude? He's like, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. You can't have a mistress in your business. If you lose focus on the one thing and you start on something, I mean, you're starting from the ground and trying to build from there. You can't do it. He helped me refocus that day, and it changed everything for me. So, yeah.
That's really sound thinking.
It really is.
I was waiting patiently to piggyback on what both of you were saying. And I think your idea, Scott, about congruency, I think that we can even travel further down that road and try our best to keep the personalities within us congruent with one another, and even keep our days congruent with one another, so that we are using today not only as a day in which to experience all things, but also to recognize that it serves as a ramp into a better tomorrow. What is the desired tomorrow? Because you're building it today. You're not going to start building tomorrow. You're going to build it today, and you'll build next year, today and tomorrow, and the subsequent tomorrows, and so forth. So I really like intentional congruency. I love how that sounds. That's a beautiful phrase.
Love that. Yeah, it's awesome.
And just being more intentional in general of
In life, yeah.
I know that I have this as a desire. So this is what I teach. So whatever it is your heart desires, and then the next question is, what creates that? Like, or even what causes that, right? What causes it to come into existence? Because I don't have to go after that. I don't need to be committed to that. I need to be committed to that which causes that.
Yeah.
Right. So when we're committed to the thing which creates the thing, we get the thing. I want to say that again. When we're committed to the thing that creates the thing, then we'll get the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not woo-woo foo-foo. It's really, really true when you commit to the thing that creates the thing.
It's true.
I try to use pretty simple language when teaching those principles, because if you're not committed to the thing that creates the thing, don't be surprised when you wind up not having the thing.
Yeah. Here, Scott, you want to read that?
We're talking about, if you just joined us, we're talking about Leanne just got married and said the only thing that happened was the music stopped just as my maid of honor was halfway down the aisle and I was about to walk in. Everyone laughed and I waited until it started again, which someone had said, has she changed her mind?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh.
When Tammy and I got married, we planned everything out and walked through the rehearsal, the whole bit. And it was kind of we're at a house. We got married in the backyard, and one of the things we didn't think about when we did the rehearsal was we were all wearing jeans and everything. So Tammy walks in, the whole bit, and we didn't think that her wedding dress was about this big down at the bottom, meaning that instead of steps this big in her jeans, they were like these little Tim Conway steps. And so it was like, I mean, it seemed to her, she said it seemed like a 90-minute walk, to get up there.
Oh, wow.
Let's play Here Comes the Bride one more time. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Very slowly. That was one of the funny things that resulted from our ceremony.
Wow. Wow. I'll bet you're glad that she's coming home tomorrow.
You betcha.
3 days from today, on December 30th, we will be celebrating 42 years.
Wow.
42 years. It's mind-blowing.
That's incredible.
When you realize how patient someone's going to have to be in a long-term relationship like that, because you're both going to take turns witnessing each other's best and what I call not so best.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of times I would encourage this. Sometimes there can be a temporary not so best in order to discover what is best. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes waiting one another out can be the smartest thing you'll ever do.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. If at the sight of any storm we run, you will be in for a lifetime of changing partners.
Yep.
Because storms come. They're inherent with life. And a storm coming doesn't necessarily, I didn't say it doesn't mean it, I'm saying it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong in the macro.
Right.
Right. Sometimes it's the process that we use to handle those storms. And then if you survive them, you come away with a deepened understanding, a deepened intimacy, a deepened sense of patience, a deepened sense of compassion. You can see that a deepened something is the running theme here.
Yeah.
Because those things, they really do make you not only stronger, but I do think they make you clearer, and I think they make you more compassionate and more patient with people, because you realize that not everyone is in the groove. Some people are in the lane of struggle in a particular matter, and this is where patience comes in. And the thing that has gotten us always through any storm is, what do you want most? What do you want most? I hear what you want, but what do you want most?
Man.
And that's what will win out in the end is when you decide what it is you want most, because that's what you will unify with. That's what you'll get behind. Did you find it? Did you get the download?
Yeah, I've got it ready to go whenever, but why don't you set it up first? And
Okay,
let's say hi to
One
Mark.
thing real quick, Glenn,
Yeah,
before
go ahead.
And Jennifer.
A minister mentor of mine was talking about doing a counseling thing, and this husband was saying, I don't understand why we're here for counseling. We've never had an argument. There's never been a storm in our 30-year marriage. And my friend said, then you are neither a good meteorologist nor a good husband.
Yeah.
The failure to recognize storms or to be oblivious to them is not a wise thing to be. And that just made me think of that, because, how many I know folks that say, oh, we've never had an argument in all the years we've been married. Well, then that's a red flag to me. I mean, that's a red flag.
Yeah, Carolyn Chase said the storm plan is definitely the truth 53 years later.
Yeah. And I want to say hi to her, to Mark joining us, Jennifer Moran, who I call Jen. And Glenn, part of one of your talks, you talk about the 4
areas of stewardship.
Yes. And you talk about, what do you want most? And one of the things that you talk about is, what consequence do you want most? I think that's the
top level of decision making, is what consequence do you want most?
Right.
So it goes, what do you want? What do you want most? What consequence do you want? And what consequence do you want most? So if you just skip the 3 and stair step your way right to the top and just say, we live in a choice, consequence, cause and effect world. Every choice I make produces a consequence. What is the consequence that I wish to experience most in my life?
Yep.
And sometimes it's consequences, plural. And then again, get into the lane that creates those consequences, and get out of the lane that doesn't create those, or creates consequences that are contrary to that, which you do not desire.
Right.
Because everything we do, say, think, or feel is generating a consequence. That's the way it works. Yep. So is what I'm doing generating the desired outcome? And if it isn't, it becomes easier to decide once you've got that working as your template, right? I think where we get lost is when we don't have anything to rely upon in terms of a plan of attack. If we know that that's what we're after, it actually makes it a lot easier to decide when we get to those dreadful forks in the road. All of a sudden, we're not overwhelmed anymore, because we look at the 2 ways we could choose, and then we look at outcome versus desire, right? What we're experiencing an urge for, well, that may be true, but is that urge harmoniously generating the outcome we desire most? And it invariably winds up being a pretty clear yes or no. That's been my experience. And a lot of the people that I've coached over the years said the same thing, that makes it easier to process. So what you're going to play was done on Tuesday night. And this is a very creative use of Zoom that includes actors. Here's what's most incredible about it. These actors are on opposite ends of the country. So 2 of them are in the New York, New Jersey area. And the other one, hey, Greg, the other one is in Los Angeles. So Piper is in Los Angeles, and Lisa and Tony are both in New Jersey and New York, respectively. Now, and we managed to put them all together in a room, or so it would seem.
And what is the rating on this?
Do we care? It's our last show
Of 2020.
of 2020. Yeah, it's not nasty.
Okay. Scott, you're muted.
I'm out of here for the rest of the year. I'm not coming back. Just so
Yeah, no. I wonder if our did our contracts get renewed for
My agent is still in negotiation with it, but I told him I was going to forge ahead regardless, at least for tonight.
There you go. There you go.
We have some first-time viewers we need to go back and acknowledge if we can. So go ahead and play this, and because I know one of them made a comment. They said that it was their first time to watch, and yet they were feeling somewhat judgmental.
That was Shelly.
Oh.
That's my brother's wife's cousin.
Oh,
Yeah. So, all right, hang on. Let me cue this, and here we go.
Yes, sir.
Hi. How are you?
the voice is off, Ken.
Good.
Can we refresh it and see if it lines up better?
That's as high as I can get it, dude.
Well, there it goes. No, I'm talking about just in terms of being
yeah,
sync.
let it catch up.
Okay.
Yes. I'd like to see Jerry.
And you are?
Upkin. Rupert Upkin.
Mr. Pumpkin's here? That's right. Should be with you in a minute.
Oh, who's that?
Miss Long.
Oh, I'd really like to see Jerry.
Miss Long will take care of you.
Okay. You know what? I'll just wait right here. Just here.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Pumpkin,
Yes. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. We want to thank you for submitting your tape. We listened to it with great interest, as a matter of fact.
Oh, good. Thank you. Good.
And frankly, we think you have good stuff.
Good.
We think you have great potential. We think it has potential.
Good.
Which is why we want to be absolutely honest with you.
Yeah, that's everyone should be. Absolutely honest. Yes.
We don't think you're ready yet.
Hey, Ken, we don't need to go all the way through it.
We don't think right
Okay.
now that you're ready for Jerry.
Not ready for Jerry?
Some of the material is good.
Oh, okay. Good.
But some of the one-liners, not so good.
Okay. So, in other words, you didn't like some of the jokes, right? Is that it?
What are you, a genius?
Okay. Well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I'm be curious to hear what Jerry thinks. But you know what? If you didn't like some of the jokes, I can take care of that for you right now. Okay. All you got to do is tell me the jokes you didn't like, and I'll just boom, no problem. I'll just get rid of them. They're gone. This is really great. Actually, this is so helpful. This is really great.
We think you have a lot of good potential. And your timing is...
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
But we think that your stuff needs more development. Put it in front of a live audience. I personally think that would be a great idea.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of great clubs in the city. You go, you check them out. And if you get to work at one, give us a call. We'll come down and check you out. That is a promise.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Ms. Long, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. I really don't want to have to say this to you, and I hope you don't take this personally, but I really need to be honest with you and tell you that are you speaking for Jerry here?
Yes, I am. He has complete confidence in our opinions.
Okay, but I'm sorry, but what I need to tell you is that I don't have faith in your opinions.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, Mr. Pumpkin. We mean what we say when we liked your tape. We mean what we say that when you act, we'll come and check it out.
Well, I disagree.
Well, that is your privilege, Mr. Pumpkin.
All right. Okay. Goodbye. I really have to disagree with you on that. I don't.
Now, would you please excuse me? I have a lot of things that I need to take care of today.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, when will Jerry be back?
Marion,
Yes, Miss Long.
call security.
It's just. I just wanted to wait for Jerry. Okay. Look, I'm going. Here I am. I'm going. All right. What if I am a genius, huh? What if I am? He would know, not you.
Unbelievable.
Telling me.
Okay.
That is freaking awesome.
Now that's remarkable.
That is
And
that was really,
The only
really
reason I said you could cut it off is because it was harder to hear early on, but the
Yeah.
performances are tremendous. And when you realize that no one is looking at anybody, they're all alone in their own homes, and I am online with them, guiding their eye lines to what would be correct, so that when it intercuts based on voice activation, it will create the illusion that they're looking at one another. Actually, all they have is the ability to hear the other one and to trust me on where I am telling them to hold their look. That doesn't mean they stare. It means that they feel. We call it going into feelingville or reflectionville, where you gather your thoughts like this, but then eventually you bring them back to that point. And
Yeah.
they did it seamlessly.
I
And
love
those
the
three
way
actors are fantastic.
the camera kept going to the
The
secretary.
secretary, that's Lisa.
Yeah, that was really that was awesome.
So,
What struck me was I don't know the male actor's name.
yeah, that's Tony Wolf.
Tony.
Tremendous.
It must be challenging to do a De Niro piece. He had a different take on it than De Niro.
Oh, so you recognized what it was?
Yeah, it's just
King
King
comedy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he has a very, I wouldn't say very, but he has his own take on it. And
Right.
I would think as a student, that would be a very difficult thing to do, is to not imitate.
Well, we kind of have a rule in the workshop: is no impressions, no
Yeah.
mimicking. If you're going to take an iconic piece, you do so making sure you put your own fingerprint on it.
Oh, he sure did.
It's already been done the other way.
Yeah.
And
That-
and Tony's remarkable.
He was terrific. That's a great piece. It's
So
great.
they're learning how to do that, and it's a handy skill, because there are times on set when, for whatever reason, it can be any one of a number of reasons, but our scene partner has to leave before the end of the day, and we still have the scene to shoot. So you will be sitting looking at an X on a wall or a piece of tape dangling from a T stand, and you have to have a connection with it. Are you looking at an X on the wall right now, Scott? So anyway, we're
Looking
with
the wrong way.
Yeah,
that
Scott,
ability
you're
to
looking
focus
at
like
the
that.
wrong guy.
It's creating such beautiful outcomes for these actors. And then the gift of Zoom is that at the end of the class, it records the scene for you and downloads it to either the iCloud or to your computer. So you get to go back and study your work. And is it believable that you can create an actual relationship with a mark on the wall? And the answer is, in this case, yes.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So it's beautiful. There's
So
no one who would say those actors were not together.
How
the same
did
room.
they edited that in with it cutting back to the receptionist, right?
That's the only part. Everything else was voice activated.
Yeah.
But the bit, because we needed her reaction. So what they do is they pin.
Yeah.
You have the option to pin video where, like right now, for example, if the three of us were recording, we could pin ourselves where it would hold on just Scott and it would hold on just you. And the reason is so that later, if Scott is doing some bit where he does like that, we wouldn't want to miss that. If he rolls his eyes on a particular line, but that doesn't produce any sound that would draw camera to him to cover that moment.
Right.
So by pinning ourselves, we can go back and do a really thorough edit, which includes listening as a big part of the scene.
It's brilliant.
You know?
That's
brilliant
cool
use of Zoom, man.
Hey, do we have at
Guys,
this time?
It's 12 after.
It is 12
which
after.
is the time that every week at exactly 12 after.
Since Easter.
We haven't missed a week of playing that game loved by all called Ooh, That's just
wrong.
So who wants to go first with your Ooh, that's just wrong?
I already did. I did mine. That was my 10-year-old recording the family room on Christmas Eve, or living room rather, where the tree is.
I think that one came from Ooh, that's just devastating.
Yeah.
That's even more than wrong.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to mute myself because I need to ask Carolyn to remind me. We had something bizarre happen this week and I wanted a little prompting of what it was. So I'll be right there.
Go ahead.
I was just looking, my dog is whining and nothing. I wanted to make sure he was okay. He was like whining, but no,
Do you have an Ooh, that's just wrong?
I have one. Well, it's kind of one. I'll share it. So the commercial that has been on constantly today watching football is the AT&T commercial where the guy comes in the store and they tell him about the iPhone and he calls and he thinks he's telling his mom that she can get the iPhone because it's good for existing as well as new customers. And he says, no, it's really somebody else, but they're coming down. Okay, great. And the gal that's been in all the AT&T commercials for so long says, word of mouth. That's how business was done before commercials. No. In fact, the reason that you have to buy commercials is because you haven't gotten word of mouth good enough
right
to get customers to do business with you. Word of mouth still is the most effective way of marketing your business. You get repeat and referral customers when your current customers brag about you. And a buddy of mine, Jay Bear, says advertising is a tax paid by the unremarkable.
Oh.
Is that just the greatest line? I wish that was my line, but Jay said,
oh, that's beautiful. Advertising is a tax
paid by the unremarkable.
Wow.
Yeah. Word of mouth is how they used to do it before commercials.
Wow.
That's just
wow. Glenn, you're still muted, FYI. Justin says, I love how she looks at the camera when she says word of mouth. Oh. Ken, you need to add the Zoom pin move to the Grow Live Academy. Yeah. Well, we don't promote Zoom in the Grow Live Academy. So now I've used Zoom to record some of the content in the Grow Live Academy, but I primarily used this program, StreamYard. It's a phenomenal program.
So our collective, that's just wrong, we went out to look at Christmas lights on Christmas Eve, and there is this one house. And do you have the photo? I can describe it. So there's this one house. No, it's all right. There's this one house where clearly the thing they live for most is to intimidate their neighbors with showmanship of lights. And it is the most astounding thing you'll ever see. And under the heading of why bother, it's so much fun because everyone drives by this home in Dallas. And it's so much so that they have to block the street and make it one way because it would just be too much traffic. So you have to loop the block to drive by the house and take pictures. And there are police there. Keep it moving. So we went by late Christmas Eve where there wasn't much traffic. And what's so wild is you've got, and I'm not exaggerating when I say thousands and thousands of lights and Santas. And the Santas are about 3 feet tall. And they have the entire lawn lit up with Santas and the head of big Tex and reindeer flying through the air and the sleigh. Shopping malls don't do what this homeowner does. And then you drive another 50 yards to the next door neighbor's place who doesn't have one frigging light. Not a light, not a front door lamp. I'm talking, it is dark. And you have to know that this was a discussion that was had of, honey, really? Look what we live next door to.
Yeah.
So I'll have to break out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, hey, Ken, can you try a Google search and just put Christmas lights on Southwestern in Dallas? Christmas lights on Southwestern, and I'll bet you these people's home coming up. I've never seen anything like it.
Glenn, there is a home in our neighborhood that doesn't have nearly that many lights, but I mean, it is very well.
It's all maxed out.
And I had my phone with my camera to take a picture of it today, and it was not in the yard. The next door neighbor just put up a sign with an arrow pointing to that guy's house, and it says ditto.
Yes, beautiful. You know, I need to recommend that for these people's neighbors.
That's funny.
I can imagine on that. Yeah, like what you got. Oh man!
I mean, they could deck their house and still feel inadequate.
Oh,
I'm looking on YouTube to see if I can find it real quick.
For some reason, it always reminds me of Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation.
I know.
He's got a commercial out.
Yes, I saw. Oh,
I saw it today.
He doesn't look good.
That commercial maybe shouldn't have been made.
Yeah, it missed.
Isn't there someone who goes?
Is it in Frisco? Is it in Frisco?
No, it's in Highland Park.
Yeah,
University Park.
Christmas lights.
And the other thing is, it's an ad for an electric car, for the electric Mustang.
Yes.
How does that make you go, oh, I got to check out that car? Because she makes it light up the lights.
Justin says Ford Mustang electric.
Yeah, that's what it's an ad for. And it does. I mean, it does not. For one thing, how bad he looks is distracting. So you don't pay attention. I mean, it's not a commercial that moves you to think about buying the product.
Okay, let's see if I got it here.
That's what they do now that they don't do word of mouth anymore.
Yes.
Let me see. Sorry, I did not hear anything you guys were just talking about as I was looking for
We were talking about this, and Beverly D'Angelo was in it.
Yep.
I've met with her brother. They're from Columbus, actually.
She was with Al Pacino for a very long time.
So here is, let's go full screen. Let's see if this is it.
beautiful, Clark.
Okay, this really is a nightmare for just about anybody. You spend all day putting up the Christmas lights, and then they don't work when it's time for the big reveal. One University Park man is not having any of those Clark Griswold problems, not at all.
In fact, all his lights at his place work. And it is a display unlike any other. Fox 4's Brandon Todd joins us now to look at all the lights and all the statues and all the Santa Claus. Brandon, quite a scene.
Yeah, I think this is going to be
I
it.
know, Rich and Heather. I mean, Wayne Smith said he started out with a little bit of lights years ago, but he thought, well, everybody really does
Look at
lights
this.
around here. He wanted to do something different.
Oh my
So
God.
he bought a couple of Santas, and then he kept adding and
Yeah,
adding
that's the house.
and adding.
Kind of angled their faces to where they're all saluting and facing the same way.
142 Santas, 72 snowmen,
Wow.
70 strands of lights. Wayne Smith says he actually has a lot in common with Clark Griswold.
The love and passion of all things Christmas and Christmas decorations, especially if they light up.
And boy, do they light up. The house on Southwestern Boulevard in University Park is almost more than you can process in a single glance.
This is what
I
Christmas
can't
is all
believe
about.
you found it,
Sharon
but I
Steinman
want to
brought
see the
her
rest of this.
grandkids here
Yeah.
just to see it.
They liked all the Santa Claus up there. They wanted to go touch everything. They liked the lights.
And if you're thinking that looks a lot like big text perched up on top of the house, you'd be right. It's the original head from the State Fair icon. Smith purchased it in '92. Mostly everyone recognizes it.
A few people that don't, they're usually out of state. I had a lady last night go, is that Bing Crosby? And I mean, she was serious.
He's also a big fan of the movie The Christmas Story.
Do you know what this is? This is a lamp.
It was indeed a
Isn't
lamp.
that great? What a great lamp.
And I tried to put
What
them
a
up in the
god-awful
windows over
movie.
the last couple of years, but you really couldn't see them. So when I saw those on the shelf,
Oh, man.
I bought up all they had.
This has become a must-see for holiday light gazers.
See the elf alien?
Thumbs up. Yeah, incredible.
How long have you been doing this?
All the plastics and stuff like that for about 5 years. Lights I've been doing for 30 years since I moved in.
So
Wow.
far, only one neighbor has responded in a Grinchy way with an anonymous letter.
These were the most ostentatious decorations she had ever seen.
I am just astounded by this.
Not D. Leone.
Makes me happy. You know, it's just so colorful and bright and way over the top. And I don't know. I just love it.
All right, back out live here. This is a look at what the traffic along
Wow.
this street looks like.
That's
now
why they
and
had to
has
change it
looked
to
like
one way.
for the
This-
last, honestly, 2 hours. 2 hours there have been solid lines of cars here. And this isn't one of those houses, Heather, where you just kind of drive by. As you can see, everybody gets out of their cars, they stop, they take pictures. It's really sort of an event, you know?
Well,
Wow.
it's great. I know we went a couple of weeks ago when the line wasn't
This is
quite
good,
so long to see this. And Wayne is fantastic. He lets the kids
So I
Wow.
swear to you,
walk
I
through
swear
and-
to you, the neighbors don't even bother to light their porch.
You know,
They don't even have a single light bulb.
when they said he had a lot in common with Clark Griswold, I'm guessing from hearing him, he probably does have a cousin Eddie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. Did you hear? Because that's one of them crazy dialects. We love our Santa Claus.
He might be watching the show right now.
I'm not making fun. I'm doing an impression. I've been doing this for years. Been doing it for 35 years. I've been pissing off my neighbors at Christmas.
Oh,
Right. When cousin Eddie shows up is when the movie really begins. That is.
and that you like that? What's that movie? The longest freaking Christmas movie in
my
history.
God, the Christmas Story. What?
Ah,
Next, you're going to say you hate Disney? What is the?
oh, the Christmas Story is just
Oh, it's so well done. It is a classic.
it just is. It's 3 hours long. I think something insane. I don't know,
I
man.
love it. I love it.
Humbug.
I love A Christmas Story. By the way, from the same director that brought you Porky's.
Is it really?
It really is.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he also did like what's it called, Krampus or something. It's a like a terrifying Christmas movie. And it's the same guy, Bob Clark.
Wasn't his name Darren McGavin?
Yes.
Isn't that who that was?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and
not to be confused with Shooter McGavin.
I was going to say the inspiration. Darren McGavin had a fascinating career. Really, really interesting career. Some great. I mean, he was like on the old westerns a bunch, and did the Night Stalker. He had a television series called The Night Stalker. I always thought he was a terrific actor. But what's her name, Melissa or Melinda, that plays the wife in Christmas Story.
I have never seen the movie.
Oh, dude, do yourself a favor and don't.
She was kind of like the story was. She was kind of like Ethel was about Fred on the Lucy show. You know, that Vivian Vance was about William Crawley. That she thought it was horrible. She couldn't believe that anyone would possibly believe she was married to that guy. You know?
The Mertzes.
Yeah, that's why the Mertzes, CBS offered the Mertzes to be a spinoff, and she would not do it because she just couldn't stand him, evidently.
Look at Alan Skidmore is chiming in with some information.
Yeah. But you know, Alan, it's based on Indiana, northern Indiana, the region. But yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why you love it so much. There'd be no other reason.
Well, the guy who it's based on and the narrator through the movie is a man named Gene Shepard. And he became famous because he would write these stories about his childhood and about that. And he did overnight radio in New York City. And so he was really interesting and different because he would tell these stories, you know, that people would listen to at 2 and 3 in the morning as they were driving their cabs and, you know, working the late shift and everything in New York. And this was back in the 50s. And that was the basis of that, was Bob Clark listening to Gene Shepard tell these stories, and he wanted to make the story about Christmas into a movie.
When Jill's father was still alive, that's we would sit and watch that. I'm fairly certain I've never seen the whole movie, like, because I normally fall asleep. Or decide to go have my nails removed.
Alan, that is so cool. I would love to see that house. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of it.
I you know, you could always go paint a wall and watch it dry.
I've spent the last 2 hours of my life.
Linda Dillon. Yes, Ralph. Yeah.
Guys, I've spent the last 2 hours of my life trying to unsee that commercial.
Oh,
for the car, for the product.
Yeah.
As soon as it started, I went, they're not doing this.
For what? What are you talking about?
I'll bet you can look it up.
Yep.
I'll bet you it's on YouTube.
What are we talking about?
What is the product? It's a Ford product. What is it?
The new Ford electric Mustang. But if you show it, it'll be a YouTube violation.
Oh, never mind.
No, it won't. Not for that. I typed violation. Ford electric car. Is there somebody in it?
Chevy Chase. It's a takeoff on Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
know. You remember Dumb and Dumber?
I did the jump into that. Yeah.
When they went back, I thought they had waited too long.
Yes, they had.
I mean, I think the idea of a sequel is great, but not 20 years later. And the reason is I don't think those guys, I think they were too old to be that sophomoric.
Yep. Totally agree.
I mean, it's a great concept, but
if they'd done it 18 months later, it would have been an enormous hit.
Absolutely. Oh, this is it, huh?
Yeah. Here we go.
Come look at the lights.
Dinner's gonna get cold.
You get it. They're Christmas lights.
You want to hurry this up, Clark? I'm freezing my baguettes off.
Be nice, Dad.
Drum roll, please. Joy to the world. Another dud. Hey,
I'll check the turkey. Oh, I hope no one sees me in my yoga pants.
You mean you're sitting on the couch pants? Incredible, Dad.
Wow. Nice whip, Clark.
Second. No, I was first. I'm your dad, so.
I used to have a Mustang back when cars made sounds.
The all-new, all-electric Mustang Mach-E. Joy to the world.
I love that new car smell. I think those are pine needles, Dad.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
that's just wrong.
A joint. Ooh, that's just wrong.
And on that note,
what a way to end the year.
it brings the year to an end.
That's a terrible way to end it.
We can promise next year will get better.
We got to do better.
And then tapered off.
Hey, now we have goals for next year.
Absolutely. It's the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott, where we consistently overpromise and underdeliver.
Oh my God. You
Guys, I
hey,
love you both.
love
with
you
all my
guys.
heart. And I've had a blast doing 2020 with you guys. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to get a little choked up on New Year's Eve and just recognize that we're getting ready to put this very eventful year into the books. And though I look forward to 2021 and whatever it has to bring with it in the way of lessons and experiences, it's still been an incredible year. And the two of you were really what made this year for me. I really mean it. You're the two that defined it having its unique flavor. So thank you for arriving on the scene and I call it keeping your appointment. I always thank people who keep their appointments with me. I think that our souls have appointments with people, and that when we prioritize keeping those appointments, we wind up being very happy in life. So thank you for not vetoing your appointment with me.
Thank you. I love both of you. I'm very grateful for, man, what an amazing year it has been. And I'm like, that's why when I hear people say, oh, this is the worst year ever, I'm like, man, I feel kind of selfish saying this, but nah, it's been phenomenal. And this has been a great, great, fun show to do. I look forward to every Sunday night. It's just fun. And sometimes I watch the numbers of how many viewers we have, and sometimes they go a little bit low, and I think, what are we doing wrong? And I just think, whatever, we're having fun, man. And like Glenn said before, and I like Glenn and I do our own thing also. And it's like, we would do this show, and I think all three of us would agree, if nobody showed up. Like we
do. It's called our phone calls.
Right.
That are Zoom calls. That's true. Will go for 90 minutes and there's no audience. And when we have a blast.
Right. Justin says we're holding our own with the NFL's, kind of anyway. So
what were their ratings? I haven't asked anyone. Scott, maybe you would know that. What have the NFL's ratings this year been with the empty stands and whatnot? How is their television broadcasting going?
They're not terrible, but they're not at their highest either. I mean, they're middle of the road, but I mean, at the end of the day, the networks pay because it's programming. It fills, as you well know, it fills prominent time. Sunday Night Football is still one of the highest. What's on right now is still one of the highest rated shows of the week.
But it doesn't stop us from competing, does it, baby?
I think Roger Goodell should pay us to move to another night, but I don't know. Just
what is the ratings gargantuan? Who are they? We want to compete with them.
Who's pulling us down?
Sunday night.
We're an anchor on you, NFL. We are pulling you down.
So, by the way, I do want to. May I have a moment for a shameless plug? The Resident season finale. They are going to go ahead and air it. I believe it is next Tuesday night. They put it back on last week, but they're ramping into the following week which is the 12th. So I think, or possibly it's Thursday. Did you look, honey? Is it Tuesday or Thursday's show? It's either this coming Tuesday night or next Thursday night, but it's called Burn It All Down. Burn It All Down. So I think, yeah, maybe it's Tuesday night. And that will be the season finale of season 3. And then we pick back up on the air on January 12th. So we're excited. The Denzel Washington film that I did playing Denzel's boss called The Little Things, that opens January 29th. And another film called Under the Stadium Lights opens also January 29th. So it's going to be a big January for us.
Hey Glenn, when does the movie come out that you shot with John Schneider? Do you know? Is there a release?
We don't have a distribution deal yet.
Gotcha.
But this is the first time in 45 years of making movies that I've ever had 2 feature films open on the exact same day.
Wow.
So those are prosperous conditions. And when I look and consider, wow, 2 releases on the same day, that's
incredible.
It's just beautiful. What does this one say? Ken, Glenn, and Scott, you have been entertaining, fun, educational, based on basically brilliant intelligence. Thank you for spending time with us. Blessings to you all for a joyful, healthy, safe, and enlightening new year. Thank you, Janie.
Wow. Thank you, Janie. That's so
Janie,
nice.
you're a sharp gal, and I love the way that's the second time tonight you've spelled enlightening in that particular fashion where you're illuminating the word light. I think that's great.
That's awesome.
So, Scott, you want to take us out for the last show of the year?
That does it for us for 2020. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. As always, regardless of the year, we'll be here on the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. Love you guys.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you for being here, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Happy New Year. We'll see you
Happy
guys
New
next
Year.
year.